Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hi.
Uh, I've joked about it before that I want to call my show Giras y Desveladas and then subtitles technical difficulties. Because can you hear me, George?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you. You could probably get a little closer to the mic.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so let's start with we're gonna start with hello everybody we and Facebook world, Tejano TV live world, and YouTube world to this Sunday lovely afternoon ish, and I want to introduce my co-host before we get to our special host. And you are on, ma'am. I can see you. Let me just introduce my co-host, and I will get you on. My co-host is this lovely individual who I met because of his awesome wife. And let me
Oh
show those pictures. Yes. So
yeah.
my awesome friend Norma Salazar happens to have a husband named George Salazar, who happens to be an artist. And we can talk about that a little bit later. Mr. George Salazar, here are some lovely pics of Mr. George Salazar. You can look him up. He is working on some new recordings that he will have out soon. So stay on the lookout for George Salazar. This is us at when we ran into each other at Las Vegas, and that was the shirt that I've been talking about that caught my eye, not realizing who you were and that Norma was your wife. I mean, it was just exciting.
Oh
So
yeah.
welcome, George Salazar. Oh, you have the same shirt on? Oh, it's the same.
Nombre, this is an old shirt. This is a different
It's
shirt.
nice, nice. It has that authentic feel. So now, are you ready for to bring in our host, our guest?
Bring it
All
on.
right, and let me just say a little bit about her before I bring her on. I had a chance to talk to her a little bit yesterday. You might know her, uh, her brother, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. So, are you ready, Miss Lady Canales? I'm bringing you on stage.
Yes, I am. I'm excited.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Miss
Thank you.
Lady Canales. I like um, that title that you have. Let me show some of the pictures that you sent me. These little promo pictures because you are an artist as well. I love these pictures. I love them.
Did you see my
And
dress?
yes, and
Music
that
notes.
is great. Yes, those are lovely. Now, one thing, if you want to introduce yourself, I'll go ahead and give you a chance to do that. And while I show some pictures,
Okay.
um,
Do you
go
want me to
right
show
ahead.
the pictures or just about to say hello and all this
Who
stuff?
say hello? Who are you? Well, let me show a picture so that people who don't know who you are,
Hey.
you have a brother. You had a brother. May he
Yes.
rest in peace.
Yes.
That some people might know.
Yeah, that's a
Right
family
there.
reunion. Yeah, we have family reunion. They put the la familia de Don Esteban y María Canales. That was my mom and dad. And there's four brothers right there, and then me and my other sister Sophie. And then there was two more, but they were embarrassed, I guess, to get on. I don't know, but anyway, we still try.
So yes. So you are the sister of our dearly departed and much beloved Johnny Canales.
You
And
got
now,
it.
yes, and thank you for coming on. Now the thing is, I got to know you a little bit yesterday when we did the little practice run, and you told me something that just touched my heart because I am a daughter of a musician,
Mm-hmm.
and you are an artist as well. You're a musician, and it comes from this guy right here. Tell us about this guy.
That's my dad when he was young, of course, young. And of course, that's why my mom fell in love with him. And está bien chulo, mi papá y mis hermanos también
Oh,
bonitos.
So yes, so your father was actually, you're telling me that your father was actually a musician, and
Yes.
that's how not only your brother was a musician as well, got into music, and of course we know the latter part of what he did, the wonderful things that he did for music, our genre, our our culture.
Yes.
He did something magical. He was able to transcend borders and
Yes.
bring people together through their
Right.
music,
Right.
and that nobody had done since, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, let me know. And nobody has so far
Nope.
done that now. And so uh I'm sorry I didn't get to interview your brother. I mean, that would have been an
I
awesome
know.
show because
I know.
he was there at the beginning.
Right.
And um and as you know, for those of you that are coming on for the first time to the show, Giras y Desveladas started because my dad passed away, and he talked about all his Giras y Desveladas and all his stories. I didn't get to record him, so I decided I was going to start recording. I started with his friends, which were also pioneers of Tejano music,
Mm-hmm.
and I started opening up this Pandora's box of information of all the um, pioneers of this music, and your brother was right smack in the middle of it. He was
Yes.
there, and I believe, and people, this is my personal belief, that one of our most famous artists from this genre, our beloved Selena,
Yes.
was catapulted by your brother's show,
Yes.
that transcended borders.
Yep. Yep.
So that's all I got to say about that. That's all I've got to say. But and like I said, I wish I didn't get to interview him, but I've got you, Janie Canales, the sister. Now, what was your part in the show? And as far as production, were you actively involved in that, or?
Yes. Well, the groups would call to the house. He had his own little office, and we would start like lining up groups that wanted to come on the show, and then we had to like kind of mix it, like norteño, conjunto, tejano, so he could have a mix of everything. Give everybody a break, and also not for the show not to be boring. You know what I'm saying? He would
Yeah.
put something and then the other one and then and so everybody was going like, okay, so do we do this? Do we la gente que está viendo, like, do we just a cumbia? Do we just norteño or whatever? But and then we would set it up. We would get the lineup, and then would go he started at a smaller place, but he landed on Selena Auditorium. Of course, it was the Bayfront first. Then when the tragic happened and all that, they decided to change it and honor her with the name of Selena Auditorium.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'd get there, with plenty of time, so we could line up people. And then sometimes there were people that would drive from California, from Florida. They'd be there like at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, afuera, outside. And my
Wow.
brother would say, Jenny, vamos a ver si hay gente o no. No, hombre, había línea. And I'm going like, ay, pobrecitos. It would get hot. The doors would open at 6, right? So anyway, I would get there a little bit early so they could get into the AC, and all that. And then we had the names already, so they would bring in their music. I would write down the name and what songs they were going to do and put them in order. And I would say, okay, after this group, y'all are going to, follow them. So y'all better be ready, or you're going to go to the bottom of the list. I was just kidding, right? And say, oh, no, 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 Canales, aquí estamos a sus órdenes. I was just messing with them. Pero, yeah, that's what we did. And of course, my sister, RJ, también helped a lot. And then
Oh,
I had mi hermano Layo, se llamaba José Hilario, pero le decíamos Layo. Y luego, two more brothers helped. Roel y Roberto también helped, but not as much as my sister and myself and my brother Layo. But yeah, we all pulled for him. We wanted him, to progress. And Pobrecito, he would try to, offer us money and all that, and would say, no, put it back on the show, put it back in the show, put it back in the show. And that's
yeah.
what and we were just helping him out. So we helped him, quite a bit. No
Well,
regret.
the way I see it, I mean, I don't know, I'm just guessing here, but Yeah, that was important. If somebody, because if you said you're coming on, you know, a lot of people used your brother's show to, to superstardom,
Yes,
especially in Mexico.
yes.
So you played a big part in that, in deciding, yes, you're going to come on and do that, because I know that's what I would gather, and that's why it was, if you said I'm going to put you on the other show. But yeah, that was important, because
Yeah.
that was a big break for them.
Oh,
It
yes.
would be like the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
There you
That
go.
was our Tejano music version of that. You
Yes.
know,
They also used to call him the Dick Clark
the
because he
Dick
was.
Clark.
Hold on, esta cosa se me está yendo para atrás. Hold on, let me get the picture off.
While you're doing that, let me get to some comments. Let me see. I've got saludos to everybody coming in. Starting with, let me see. Starting with Irene Mendoza. Uh, Misty Blue, your daughter. I love that name, Misty Blue.
Yes.
As soon as I say the name, I hear the song.
Right.
Misty Blue, saludos. She says, we hear you all. Irene Mendoza says, saludos from Glendale, Arizona. Saludos,
Wow.
Glendale.
Hello.
George Salazar, and I'm guessing it's not George, says, hello, beautiful. Please tag friends and family.
That's my wife.
Yeah. So
Yes,
Norma got
Norma.
your phone.
Yeah,
Cheerleader.
she's on it. She's on
Thank
it.
you, Norma.
Even though she's
uh,
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, and prayers for Norma. She's been sick.
Yes.
She was going to be my co-host for today, because she's the one who said, "Why don't you have Janie Canales on?" I was like, "Cause I don't know her and I don't have her number." And she's like, "Well, it's right here." And so thank God for that. So
Yes.
thank you, Norma, and I hope you get better soon. Yes.
Yes.
So
Norma
and
can
then
the
yeah,
road.
so Norma says, well, through George says, hello, Irene Mendoza. Irene Mendoza says, hello, amiga Norman George. And hello, amiga Jenny Canales from Irene Mendoza. And then we've got TDK del Mero Monte says, hello, Gigi, saludos. TDK says, saludos, Janie, did you sing already? We just got on. We're going to see. Uh-huh. And TDK, it's me, Norma. George has my phone. Okay, so we're communicating here. Saludos, Michigan Sensation. Who's the Michigan Sensation? You, George? Are you the
Ah,
Michigan?
I don't know, I guess.
yes, George.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and TDK says, okay, Norma, I was going to ask you. Danielle Garcia says, hello, my first nighty. Don't know what that means.
I don't
George
know.
is filling in for Lori. Yes, George is filling in for Lori. Lori Jean.
Us.
Lori Jean, if you get on her page, you will see she decided to quit teaching, and she is now an entrepreneur, and she's pushing her dad, Cecilio Garza de los Casinos.
Wow.
I think she's on some projects, and I don't know what. She's super busy. So saludos to Lori Jean. When she has a chance, she comes on the show. But today we have George. George, what do you have any questions for our lovely guest, Miss Janie Canales?
Oh, I've got several questions for this
Oh,
beautiful woman.
all right. Be
Okay.
nice.
I'm gonna get that hair of yours one of these days. It'll all turn white as well. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
yes. Hey, come on, I earned them. This is my natural color. I
I like
earned
it.
all this.
Love it. Love it. What
Love it.
inspired you? What inspired you to start singing, Janie? I mean, everybody has an inspiration. At what age did you start singing?
Oh God. Well,
You know,
I used to be in a lot of talent shows. A mí me encantaba el borlote. And then it was Brenda Lee. That was my idol. And I used to do
Oh,
all her songs. And oh my God, I loved her. And then I went to they used to call them aficionados, which it was like America's Got Talent. You go and perform and all that, and then I started moving up, and then I joined my brother's band. But before that, of course, he went to the service. But when he came back, he had an orchestra, so I joined him. And then, of course, he wanted more, the television show and all that. So he let his band go so that he could start having what?
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm working on something.
I don't know.
okay,
Hey, Johnny, come on, Johnny, give me a break.
I know.
I had always been, inspired by music, and of course, things, that happen in life. You get married, then you have kids, then you have
Yeah.
this, then you divorce, then you remarry, then you divorce, then you, oh, hey, Johnny, say like this.
And Elizabeth Taylor.
That's what he used to say. I said, and I said, that's just to show you, mira, que tengo esto. Dije, because I don't put up with crap. Dije, I'm not going to stay 20, 30 years and then, ay, ya no va a jalar. No, hombre, cállate al año de los dos. Dice, let the ink dry, Jane, en el divorcio before you get married again.
You're the firecracker.
Yeah.
Ah, there you were.
Yeah.
Well, as a child growing up, what did you want to be? Like a lawyer, an officer, a politician? What was your like dream job to want to be? Like what you would love to do?
Well, it was the music.
Music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
More
I worked.
so an artist?
¿Cómo?
More so the artist or an actress or just
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
How did you feel? How did you feel when you were on the Johnny Canales show singing? I think you showed us a clip of
Yes.
that.
No,
When we saw you in San Antonio.
Let me try to get that on. Of course, remember my show is called Technical Difficulties. So let's see.
Ay, qué lindo. Ay, qué chulo.
There she is.
We do not have copyrights to any of this. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. Let me put that out there.
Bien sabes que nunca quise que terminara nuestro cariño. ¡Eso! Si todavía no termina la dulce historia de nuestro amor. Bien sabes que de tus besos yo nunca me olvidaría. Y por tu orgullo maldito, ahora sufres.
All right, there you are. Oh,
Tú besabas, aquí te están esperando. Y las caricias que yo te hacía son las que te andan matando.
That must be a dream come true.
isn't that is wonderful. If anybody wants to check that out, that you look for Janie and Johnny Canales. Tú bien lo sabes. Talk to us about that song. Tú bien lo sabes.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Johnny picked it. He would pick songs and he'd say, Jade, esta te queda, y esta te queda. So he picked that one. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you remember Chabela, la del Brown Express. He was back in her 70s or something. Se casó con uno de los Tigres del Norte. When they were taking a picture of her for her album, when the flash went out, the horse se levantó and she fell and hit her head. And she never recovered from that. But she recorded that song, pero más corrida, con conjunto and all that. So Johnny said, hey, let's do it con mariachi, So we kind of slowed it down and más, and that's why I recorded it, because, he had good points. And of course I would do.
Did anybody ever tell you that you have a little bit of a Rocío Durcal, like some vocals, somewhat like that
Lola,
feeling?
I hear a little bit of Lola Beltran, very Lola Beltran.
And I heard a little bit of Rocío right there on some of the endings of some of your notes where you hit that, that.
Of course, he usaba mucho el del the TH, los de allá de España, usan como, I can't think of the word right now, pero se acaba con el, pero en Lola Beltrán, Lucha Villa, and Yolanda del Rio had a lot to do with it. And
yes.
Well, Enrique Iglesias Jr. has that,
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. If you ever hear some of his Enrique Iglesias Jr., He's got some songs that end with a th. Like,
yeah, because they're from another country, and instead of the S, they use the TH.
yep.
And of course it
Yeah.
sounds good, pero los tejanos, ahí nos la aventamos con la S.
Yeah, S. Yeah, I know. I can't get out of it. Ah, no,
Yes. So that's how we got it recorded, and then I've got another one, but I'm not gonna put it out till probably December or January the 1st. I just threw this out because I don't know if y'all remember el conjunto de Paulino Bernal back in the 60s, late 70s. They brought out that song originally. They brought out that song, yes. And I love el conjunto Bernal. I mean, up to this day, I don't know. I have never heard that music again. And the voices, they used to, like get in a trio, and the voices would blend in like this, being powerful. And I was just like, oh, wow. And not only that, but they played it at my quinceañera. And back then, my daughter used to get him.
Yes, it's a
real hard. She has taken it real hard.
I think we bonded last night over. I mean, I lost my brother, and you losing your brother. There's nothing like it. Nobody can understand until they go through it. It's a different thing, there's no name for it actually. When you lose a brother, there's no name for it, and it's hard. It's hard. TDK says, "Yeah, corazón."
Ándale, corazón.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we come back to the fact that I know, George, that you asked a question. What was her inspiration? Well, your dad, right? Did you tell me he was also a songwriter?
My dad wrote un corrido. Now, I don't know if he wrote. I don't think he wrote any other, but it was about a horse race, and the owners de este rancho, they were related to us. See, so my dad knew them, so he would visit them and all that. So while the horse race was going on, well, he was checking everything down, and he was writing down, and he did a corrido about that race. And I mean, you can just see it just by the phrases. You can just see how it was happening, And
what was the title of that song again?
La Tejana y el Hot Shot. And I was 15, and Johnny was 21 or 22 when we recorded it. And it was a one room, one microphone. So if we mess up, cut, and it started up and again. And oh my God.
That reminds me of the movie La Bamba. Well, what the?
Oye, y lo que hizo Bob cuando el guy no didn't say anything like, let's try it again.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Back then, hombre, he was hard, pobrecitos, but they all sounded good anyway. Even if it took all night.
Now these days, it's all cut, paste, do this, do, boop, boop. You hit it good, you're good.
They got their own channel, and then if they mess up, well, they reverse that part, but the other one stays good.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even now they have AI where you can talk to AI, it records your voice, and then it sings for you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't know about
scary.
that.
They're taking over.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can hear a little bit of this.
All right.
Remember, we were young.
El día 12 de enero, esto pasó en Cuimán, corrió la yegua tejana con el mentado cachán. En San Diego iba a nacer, porque así fue la opinión, pero como llovió mucho, la corrieron en Cuimán. Lalo le dice a Mando, cuando iban por la vereda, no siento más que una cosa, es que está enfermo Barrera. Ya veía oscurecido cuando la puerta sonó, prenden la luz a los carros para saber cuál ganó. Se juntaron los veedores para gritar al instante, no cabe duda, señores, la yegua salió adelante. Ese caballo Cachai es un caballo afamado, las carreras que ha corrido toditas las ha ganado.
Have you ever thought of bringing that back?
Pero se le llegó el día en que el gallo se durmió y lamentaba Tejana.
All right, that's look it up, guys. It's La Tejana y El Hot Shot, and it's
Yes.
Janie and your dearly
Johnny.
departed Johnny Canales.
You
Yeah.
know,
And I got the rights to that song, so nobody go out there and brag that yell because my dad says his
well,
last
here-
name.
here's the thing. Have you ever thought of bringing that back and
Yes.
remaking that one?
Yeah.
You better pick the right person because that sounds like that could be a really, really good
Yeah.
hit.
I would like to do it, con mariachi, pero con un acordeón también.
There you go. There you go. You can
And like
change
I
it
say,
up, make it your own.
Yeah, and like
I
I
didn't
said,
even know Johnny Canales sang.
oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm just finding this out right now. My wife, hey, you didn't tell me about that. A ver, wait till I get off.
Let me get to some comments. TDK says I don't trust AI. Well, yeah, of course, all of us that are of the Arnold Schwarzenegger
Okay.
time, computer taking over. Yeah, we don't trust it. Misty Blue says she loves it. She's got hearts, and she says me either. We've got Nelinda Virral. She says, "Hi, Gigi. This lady, I want you to pay attention to this lady, who this woman is. For those of you that don't know, here in the 956 and the RGV, most of our schools have a conjunto program and or a mariachi program or both.
Edinburgh North.
This woman was part of the beginnings of that in La Jolla with the conjunto program that blew up. And now there's a mariachi movie
Yes.
on Netflix.
I
This
saw
is
it.
a woman. This is a woman, Nelinda Villarreal. She's there, and she is the one that is piloting a new Tejano program at Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School
Hey,
District.
I'm from Edinburgh, 1985.
Well,
I'll go
Yeah,
down there.
well, she's doing that. So, saludos to Nelinda Villarreal. Shout out to you. Thank you for everything that you're doing for our youth.
Yes.
And she's got big vision, and look at where it's going. And as a matter of fact, she just came back from DC, out there in Washington DC, showing off the mariachis from Edinburgh, our students.
That's
So
awesome.
I'll
yeah,
tell you what,
saludos
that
to
is
you,
amazing.
and more power to you. Diosito te bendiga, and we keep on going with this. Thank you as part of Tejano Music Legacy Foundation, trying to keep Tejano, preserving the past, celebrating the present, and inspiring the future. And she's inspiring the future.
Thank
So
you.
thank
Nelinda.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. You know, that's amazing because
TDK says, I'm so glad you're interviewing Jade. I'm sorry, George.
No, go ahead.
TDK, you want to read it, George? You read it.
What?
Can you read
I'm
it?
so glad interviewing Janie and showing me some new music I didn't know existed. I'm the same way right now.
Yeah.
I'm stuck too, TDK. All I can see is you dancing. I quit and now you're chiming in.
And
Right.
we've got Misty Blue.
No,
I'm
but
not
going back to Nelinda.
She's already
is that her
drinking.
name?
to Nelinda.
Monday?
Nelinda Villarreal. Nelinda
Wow,
Villarreal.
that's amazing because Ed, Bobby Pulido graduated from my high school also as well.
Yes.
Podcast, Fronteras
I think-
from Edinburgh.
I think Alberto Pulido was también a teacher or a professor también ahí en el Valle.
Yep. So
Yes.
a lot of it starts from our roots,
Yeah.
from the valley. So my wife went over there in '86 when I was at Pan American University working, and she pulled me and brought me to Michigan. And everybody's telling me you need to come back to the valley. But you know what?
Yes.
It's everywhere. It's in your roots. It's in your blood. So just
Yeah.
singing. I just wanted to say thank you so much, Nalinda Villarreal, for doing what she's doing.
Yes.
Because that's huge, and just for it to come out on Netflix, that really touched my heart to see our kids are,
Yes.
Did
are
you cry? I cried. Have you
yeah,
seen it,
yeah,
Janie?
yeah.
Oh,
Have you
You
seen
gotta
it?
see it.
You
no,
gotta see it.
You gotta
my
see
The
it.
daughter.
mariachi movie.
Yes,
Yes,
my daughter told me about it.
they
I'm
are
gonna do it.
amazing.
So
Oh my God, they're
yes, she
amazing.
said,
I'd love to go over there and say, "Yo, I want to do one song with you guys too." So
really, really.
they're amazing. They're
Yes,
amazing.
they are amazing. So thank you again, Melinda Villarreal. Shout out to
Yes,
her.
That's
Uh,
good.
so
That's
let's see. Misty Blue, I guess she took out some drinks when your song came on, your dad's song.
yeah.
Let's
Yes.
see. Misty Raul just bought an accordion.
That's my son-in-law.
Oh, really? Okay. And then TDK says Mexican Sensation has a great voice. He would be great in a duet with Janie. Oh, maybe we've got a collaboration
Who's that?
here.
Who's that?
Well, you and the Michigan Sensation, Mr. George Salazar.
Oh, wow. Well, we might just surprise them. I don't know. We'll see.
You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, Nelinda says, come on over. Yeah, come on over to Edinburgh.
All
You know
right.
what? I'm working on my second album, Nalinda. Check out the first one. Check out the second one when it comes out. You guys got a big surprise coming.
Awesome. That's cool. And that's what it's all about. It's about talking about it. And you know what? And this is the magic that we've talked about before. What music is magic, and it get people
Yes.
together. Your brother did this in
Yep.
such a beautiful way to have everybody come together. I mean, who didn't sit down and wait for the Johnny Canales show?
Yes.
You know, I mean, it was just that was part of our life, and it was exciting. It was exciting what we would see, and always, who's gonna be on there, who's gonna play, and then we'd hear music that we weren't used to listening to,
Yes.
and we were being exposed to me, just like where he started. I work. How far did he transcend? I mean, all over Mexico, I'm guessing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he did. I mean,
So his
at
show.
one time, because we had T-shirts back then, I wish I would have saved one. He was in 23 countries. His show.
Countries.
Yes. And I told him, I said, I wonder how you sound Chino. Because, of course, the voices, or Alemán, or this. But he'd say, I don't know. I'd like to sit to see how they do the voices, but the gente will understand it, whatever país, that they're doing his show. But yes, 20, and we had all the little flags on his shirt. All the
Oh,
little flags.
wow.
Yes.
Didn't realize that.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
guarantee you, it went to
Yeah.
Holland because Dwayne Verheyden, he really loves Tejano music and he plays it. And you know what? Wow, to have somebody from Holland, the country Holland, play an accordion the way he plays it and
Wow.
sing all the songs of corridos and everything, that's amazing. So your brother touched a lot of lives. I mean,
Yeah, he did.
millions of people.
And you know what? Going back to when he first started, of course he joined. No, he didn't join. They drafted him. Oh
Yes.
my God, they drafted him, and not that he hated it, but he was just trying to, get into the music and all that. I mean, he went and served, pero it was really when the Vietnam War was heavy duty. It was in 1965. And of course, they get all together, all the troops and all that stuff. From I don't know how many thousands, okay? They pulled 2 out of the whole bunch, and one was my brother. He didn't go to Vietnam because you know what? God had a plan for him. He was supposed to come back and start his own show so he could help other groups that wanted to make their dream come true. And he said, I'm going to do it because, he went through a lot of shutting doors, and it's natural. People are not going to believe you right there. And they no. They say, well, you know what? Let me call you. Don't call me, So he
But
knew how he felt.
Janie, let's get back to you.
Okay.
Let's talk about what are your favorite colors, foods. Are you a city girl or are you a country girl, a ranchera?
I think I'm both, and I
I
love to cook. I love
Oh
to cook.
yeah.
Oh my God, for me, it's therapy. I can cook for an army, and I don't even feel it.
Well, we'll be there next
Do
year,
you
so
have room?
don't
I was gonna
forget.
say, I vote for you.
I'll eat like an army.
Oh yeah, oh my God, yes. And my favorite color is pink. Bien
Pink.
bright,
Um,
bright ya máquina, you know. And then the second one is red, pero pink.
Okay.
Pink, you know. Y de
Okay.
comidas, I mean, like I say, I mean, I guess enchiladas would be one of my favorites.
Oh, wait till
Yeah.
we get there. My wife makes a killer enchiladas.
Oh wow.
It's
Okay.
and
all
that
right,
originated
Norma.
from my family on 281 Las Cazuelas. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if you guys know Las Cazuelas in Edinburgh. It was off of 281, but that she got my uncle came down and gave her that recipe.
Oh
So
wow. All
mm,
right. Well, you know what? She can do her way, and
virgin.
I'll do a little bit of mine. I can't test the
Aye, we're ready.
And you're
Gigi,
gonna
you're
be
gonna
the
have to
judge,
come, Gigi.
George, and you're gonna be the judge. I'm sorry for you because you know you got to sleep with her.
So let me ask you a question. Are
uh,
you a convertible girl or a hardtop or a truck? What do you prefer?
a truck.
A truck? I would too.
Yes.
All right.
En country también de rancho.
There you go.
I
There
prefer
you
a
go.
truck too, but it's because it floods here in Mission. Cualquier gotita, and I hate
No,
that.
hombre, I got a 69 Chevy truck in my garage, but it's been
Oh
sitting
wow.
there for 5 years plus. So if anybody knows how to fix that damn thing, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so last question I'd like to, well, maybe not the last question, but
Yeah.
while you were in Vegas 2 years ago when we
Uh-huh.
first met, how did you feel? And if you recall the reactions to people when they saw you, did they recognize you? And how did that make you feel as Johnny Canales' sister and just being out there? And I don't know if it's the first time that you went out there, but when I saw you, I took pictures with you. My
Yeah.
wife was all like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
I was just like,
Well,
I
you
didn't
know,
even know.
yeah, it's so funny because I got to see so many groups that used to go to my brother's show. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I mean,
Yep.
I'm not saying that they were old, no, pero David De Garza, Roberto Pulido, David Farias. I mean, you know, so when we saw each other going, oh my God, you know, and David Farias was playing in one of those rooms because they have rooms everywhere with different musics and all that.
Yep.
Well, he said, he spotted me, right? And he said, we've got here he mentioned my name, but they thought he had said Johnny Canales, and
Oh.
the people went crazy.
Oh,
They thought that my brother was there, and
Oh,
yes, and then he said, no, wait a minute.
calm
Esta
down.
esta era la que estaba behind the scene. Dijo, y ella nos decía, if you're not ready, you're out of the show because you know what? Oh yeah, dijo, pero de esas que so, yes ma'am.
I'm gonna share something real quick, Janie.
Uh-huh.
We talked about it yesterday. Um, let me see. Sale bien. A ver si sale.
Selena los Dinos. All right, Selena. All right. Thank you very much. Seguro que sí. Bienvenidos, muchachos, and welcome once again. Selena y los Dinos, amigos. Ahora, no, hombre, qué bárbaro. Han hecho estos muchachos el último año. Los han conocido en todas partes. Están haciendo comerciales para, I think it's a soft drink, no?
Yes. I don't know if you're able to mention that.
Again, we do not have any rights to any of this.
you know
It's
what?
on YouTube.
Yes, Coca-Cola.
I'm sharing
Oh.
a YouTube.
that one.
I didn't know if you wanted to say it.
So
No, that's all right.
now, we talked about this, how we would have to say that your brother had a big part in Selena's, success.
Mhm.
And I mean, I would dare to say that because he was the one who became international, and I'm not too sure what the timeline is. I know she had been coming on his show since she was little, like 9 years old or something.
Well, when she
And-
went on, she was 12. When they had those suits that were done, those pintados with paint and all that.
Sí.
And she could barely speak Spanish, right? We pintamos, because she couldn't
Yeah.
say, nosotros lo pintamos, right? So,
Yeah.
so she came a long way from learning Spanish and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was
So
12.
so your brother is I would dare to say that he had, I mean, of course it was a lot of elements involved, but definitely being on your brother's show was one of them. And you all, what was that, what he particularly really I know my dad too would say, all the musicians, the pioneers would say when they saw her perform, they knew there was something special there.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Tenía ángel. That's what they would say. Tenía
Oh,
ángel. Yeah.
yeah.
And so your brother saw that too,
Yes.
and that's where
Yes.
that came on.
Yes.
So definitely, and you being part of it, did you see how he would decide? Now, would he decide specifically who was gonna come on the show, or
We
were
would
there?
talk. Yeah, we would talk among us because see, we had to like okay. One time they had, yeah, yo le decía Juan. Maybe once in a while Johnny. Say, oh yeah, Juan, you've put that group almost every freaking week. You know? Okay, está bueno. Okay,
Poniendo gorro.
let's pick another one. Let's say the following week, ahí está el grupo de vuelta. I'm going like, no haces caso, burro. But no,
Was he a very loving brother? Was he? Did you all like kid around and were you
oh
close?
God, yes, we used to kid around so bad. Like, and I know you asked me, how did you feel about your brother? When we would get home, he was my brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my mom and him. Ay, qué chulos. Yeah, we would forget about the stage and about oye, Jenny, oye, te curaste con so and so, te curaste con, yo, yeah, no, hombre, no. Y luego, me decía en el microphone, me decía, hey, Janie, yo no lo oía, ¿verdad? Decía, Janie, on the microphone. Y hacía como like, okay, get the drink ready because ya voy a acabar el show, and I'm going like,
Hey, Janie,
I
I got a question. How did Johnny come up with the idea of doing what he did that made him so famous?
Good question, George.
Kids, middle school, you guys are growing up together.
Yeah.
Did you just wake up one day and say, hey, let's do this. I got this idea.
No.
And then boom, it went.
No, my dad and him used to go play at las cantinas. My brother, I think he was maybe like 8 or 9 when my dad would take him, right? Y pues back then, les decían cantineras,
Yeah.
right? They loved him because he was a little boy. They would put him on the counter because estaba bien chiquito, ¿verdad?
Chiflao.
Yes, and he would play the guitar, my dad would play the violin. And anytime he would mess up, mi papá le pegaba con la vara. That was a sign like,
Yeah.
That's old school. That's how it was. Things were done back then.
Una chancla. Yeah, he started very young, and he had it in him. He had it in him, and he played with a lot of orchestras, and they venían let's say from Victoria or Dallas. They would drop him off in the front of the high school, so he would go to class. He finished with a 4.0, and he was 17 when he graduated.
All right, yeah, 17. Woo.
Yes. Yes.
No, I had to ask that question because, as me growing up, I always, like with my sister, we would always go into the living room and we put on, like disco songs or, a lot of different songs, but I just wanted to know how you and your brother grew up, and how that vision came out, how you guys made that happen and how it just took off. And it's just like, man, he's well known around the world, and you know what? You're well known also as well, and being the backbone of your brother and being there for him.
Yes,
through it all.
Yeah, and to a certain point, because I'm not gonna take out the whole credit or whatever, pero desde 1995 para atrás, it was just the family, the hermanos, the hermanas, whatever, and that's when he started. You know what I'm saying? We put the concrete so he could walk on it.
There you go.
He was always trying to pay us. He was something that said, no, you keep it, put it back, because at first he was paying for everything. He didn't have sponsors. But so then he had sponsors that it was uncontrollable because everybody wanted to advertise on his show. Sometimes they were 15 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes a minute, but he had so many. Yeah, they were paying for every
You
day.
know, Janie, there's a lot of talk shows right now. There's a lot of people that are doing their
Podcast.
podcasts, stuff. Do you see any podcasts or any talk shows that actually come close to the vision that you're? Yeah, I wanted to ask that question
No,
because I do see a lot of them, but I
yeah,
don't see anything remotely close to what your brother did
no,
and accomplished, and set it the expectations very high,
yes. Oh
and
yeah,
for it to come out would it would be astronomically wow. You're just like, what, are you for real?
yeah.
So would you ever consider doing something and going back and knowing the roots and the business and the family business? I want to say family business, the
I would
sisters,
love.
brother, the mom and dad or uncle or people that were involved,
Right,
grabbing them and bringing that back and starting to grab groups and starting to do baby steps. But now
right,
with the icons are already set in stone. I don't want to
right.
mention their names because we all know who the
Yes,
icons are
yes,
in the industry.
yes. Mm-hmm.
But the what would you say to those that are just coming up, that want to start, that want to make it out there as well, like the Ariel, what she's doing for
Yeah,
Edinburgh and La Jolla and all them? Wow, that is amazing because we've always said that as artists, we always want to educate the little ones to
Yeah.
yes.
bring them up, and because everybody says, "Oh, Tejano's dying. Oh, Tejano's dying." No, it's not.
No,
It's not. It's in your blood, whether you like it or not. And it's in all ethnic
right.
background blood.
Yes.
Because once they hear one song, they're like, "Whoa, where did this come from? What is this?" And then they start researching on their own. But would you ever consider trying or even thinking of doing something like that?
If I had the money right now, I would, even if I were to win, of course it's hard, the lotto or whatever, I would buy my own network and have a show where everybody would have a chance to even to do one song on stage. And I know people would come and see them because they're starving for that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you put music on podcast. I'm not knocking them either. But
Right.
people want to see their artists.
Yep.
You see, after because I got it, hey, he's gonna sign. We're asking for an autograph, or we'll take a picture with him. That's what's missing, the exposure of the
Yep.
guys and women too that are trying to get up there, pobrecitos, and it's hard. It's very hard.
You know what? You said the key word right there, money.
Mhm.
That's why a lot of these kids that can't sing, and it breaks my heart, because that's why there's a lot of these kids that can sing, but
Yes,
they don't have the backbone. They don't have that little bit of finance to push them, to get them to where they could be. Look at the little girl, Paulina, who sings, that I met in Vegas.
uh-huh.
She and everybody's like, I was like I was struck when I heard her. I was like, oh my God.
Maria Paula. Yeah.
Yes, I said there will never be another Selena. I said to myself because of Selena, I started singing. I didn't even know Spanish, but I said I want to do something.
Right.
Not to take it away from you, but the little girl is what I'm. Let me get back to that. The little
Yeah.
girl, when she sang and I heard her, I was shocked. I was like, oh my God.
Yes, he was there at Vegas.
Yep,
We were
yep,
there.
we were there.
And and Chris was on the little audience, and in that little space.
Yep,
And he was going like, "Wow."
yep. I even was like, I was freaking out.
Mhm.
And the stage presence that she gave, the parents, the way they carried themselves, so humble. This year I got to meet the little boy that came out on Star Show, some show on TV, the Stars, Simon Cowell, and I don't know who else.
Yeah. America's Got Talent,
That,
yeah, or
the
American
little boy,
Idol.
yeah, the little boy came out and sang a mariachi song, and I met him. I was like, "Oh, what the?" See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Nelinda or Nelina Villarreal, you're just doing a phenomenal job. I love it. I just had to share that, and you, if you ever win the lottery, boy, I'll be right there, right by your side, because you
I
know
swear
what,
to
I would
God, you know
definitely,
what? Yes.
I'd work for free just to even get
I want-
my-
I want to take advantage of a little plug of Juan Mendoza and Lila Lisa Promotions. Juan Mendoza has a Roku channel, and you
Yep.
can download it. It's Tejano TV or TejanoTV.com. You can download it as an app. Now that guy, Janie, he gives everybody a chance. You make a video, he's gonna put it on. He does get it. And so if y'all are interested, I love to watch it because there's people that you've never heard of before,
Right.
and they're out there. So many female artists, very talented and working so hard. So I highly suggest to anybody. This is a free plug. He's not paying me for this. Tejano TV, he's doing it. He's actually doing it. I'm not gonna say he's at Johnny Canales level, but it's a different time now.
Yeah, no, no,
You
no,
know,
no, no, no.
You
Yes.
know,
you
yeah,
mentioning
it's a
Juan.
different time. It's a different now. There, people don't watch TV. People watch TikTok. People watch YouTube. You know,
I don't even know what
But you
TikTok
know,
is.
different.
but you
Yeah.
know, it's the younger generation. There's
Yep.
older people that they don't even know how to put it on. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The ones that are still starving to see what they grew up with.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
this groups would just think and say, you know what did they used to play back then? Bring that music back.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Well, they
saying?
do have. They also have an oldies channel. All
Uh-huh.
of them are oldies. As a matter of fact, I would highly suggest that you really look it up because they a lot of your brother shows come on there. Um,
You know, to be
Misty Blue
honest
says
with
Gigi La
you,
Chicana Guerrero and George are so informative. Thank you, Misty Blue. We're
like, thank you.
trying.
It's my first time, and I was nervous as you know what. But
Yeah.
Juan and Laila were very huge supporters when I used to be the lead singer for the band Carisma Band. And when I wrote a song, co-wrote a song for my wife, it's called Chiquita. That's how TDK knows me as,
Uh-huh.
however he knows me. But long story short, Juan and Lila were very huge supporters back when I started off with the band, and I was with them for 9 years.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna check that out because I'd be very intrigued. And I actually spoke to Juan also as well when he was gonna do some magazine and have a cover and stuff. But long story short, wow, I gotta check that out. And I would
Let me
love to
just do.
work with.
Don't mean
Huh?
to interrupt you, George. Let me do some quick shout outs.
Yeah.
Borrao Lopez Jr., Jan Barreal, Oscar Garcia. I've been putting your comments on there as we go. TDK, of course, de Meromonte. Jan Barreal, let's see who else. Misty Blue, you're on there. George Salazar, your wife. Supermex,
Right.
Sam Lopez, Supermex, saludos. And he says saludos, Janie, and hello to everybody.
Yes.
Supermex, Sam Lopez used to be our drummer for Los Chicanos.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Well,
yeah.
hello, everybody. I can't see the
Hello to
comments.
everybody. Yes, and to be fair, now we share out this live broadcast to about 200 Tejano groups, and we can't see the comments. I can only see the comments that come through Gigi La Chicana.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of people commenting later that you'll see. Well, and if you are commenting on a group, I will get to see it later, or but while we're live, I cannot see them. But I can. If you go to YouTube and watch the show on YouTube, you can comment on there, and it'll come out. Just a little FYI. Well, Miss Lady Janie Canales, it has been an hour
Oh,
already.
yeah. Already? I already?
I'm like, tell me when it's the last question I can ask because I have one question to ask her. Tequila, tequila or whiskey?
Me?
Ah, yeah, you. Who else?
At the time that I was drinking, it was pura tequila.
Yeah.
Okay, I would fill up my glass, right? A ver, ¿cómo estoy? A ver, no puedo ver dónde estoy. A ver, mi mano. I would get a glass, put that much of tequila, and a splash of orange juice. A
Ah,
splash.
yeah, splash.
Just a splash.
He said it's a chaser. It's a chaser.
Mi hermano decía, hijo, Jane, estás cabrona. You know, porque he would only drink beer. He never drank, alcohol, like liquor. No. And right when I would go stay with him like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, ya cuando I had to go back, right? And he'd go and get me a bottle. And then he'd turn on the grill para para que no me fuera. So I would have to cancel my flight for either another day or another week porque se ponía triste, you know.
Aww.
Yeah, and he would try to bring me stuff that like I'm gonna bribe her so she can stay, and
Ah,
I hated to leave him, right? Pero he was understanding. Y luego, like one time, I'll tell you, ay, me estaba acomodando. I'm sorry, people. Um, I went over there and I had been there like 3 weeks. So I said, Johnny, why don't you go back with me? Esto era antes de que se casara. And dijo, no, Janie, que esto y lo otro. Okay, so he went and dropped me off. Later, como about 2 hours, they said, go pick me up at the airport. Dijo, I already forward all my calls to your house, and I'm going to be staying over there for a few weeks. Se quedaba a month or a month and a half there. And all the calls de los grupos and all that would come to my house. And girl,
Wow.
yes, we had the best time. See?
Oh yeah. And at the end of the day, you know what? Like we talked about yesterday, the memories that they leave behind, that's what we have left, and that's what we can treasure. Now, even you being on this show, this will be for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren, as you talk about your brother and yourself and your dad,
Yeah.
and so if they, yeah, I mean, music is transcends, populations, it generations. So it's going through you, it went through your dad, went through your brother, through you. Is Misty Blue interested in music, or no? Does
Yes,
she?
yes, she is, and my older daughter. And you know what's so funny? It's like, okay, Jenny Rivera, ¿verdad? The tragic and all that. I guess those girls didn't know they had it in them because now it's la Jackie. What's her the first one is the Chiquis. They all sing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going
yeah,
like, wow.
it's
And
in there, it's in there.
maybe they would have never done it if she was still alive. Now I'm not saying, ay, que bueno, no, no, no. Pero they decided to let's see what we can do what my mom was doing.
Yeah, it's
You
in
know?
did
there.
you
You
guys ever
can't,
watch
you
the
can't deny it.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Netflix? 96
Yes.
episodes?
I just said I
No,
do the
hombre,
Becky.
Yeah.
your mala, my wife over here who's sick. No, hombre, one more, babe. One more, babe. No, hombre, midnight. One more, babe. We got to go to work. What are you doing?
Okay. One more what?
Like one more episode,
Ah.
96 episodes.
Okay.
You was still
All
you can't
right.
watch
All
that all in
right.
one damn day.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Your
All right.
daughters,
Well,
gonna sing.
as I'm sorry, George, as we wrap it up,
Oh, sorry.
any part, you already did your last question, right, George? And thank you, George, for
Oh
being
yeah,
my co-host. Norma,
Yeah.
I hope you get better. Maybe you can be my guest co-host at a later time when you're feeling
you will.
better.
Oh yes.
And look out for George Salazar. You've got a new recording coming out soon. Look him
Videos,
up. Yes.
videos coming out here soon also as well.
All right. Awesome. So look him up. Janie Canales. I cannot even begin to tell you how blessed I feel that
Oh.
I got to even know you, much less
Oh
interview
yeah.
you.
Mija, I'm just as plain as can be. I'm one of you all. I have never pretended to be something that I have never been, and I don't have intentions to do that. I'm just me. You meet
Yep.
me, that's George. Yo soy así, like down to earth, hombre, que que el otro, que I'm not gonna go like Miss Fufu. I really.
No, well, I gotta be honest.
Espérate.
Yep, I gotta be honest. Last year, when I recorded my second album last year in October, we got together where
Yeah.
I had to stay, and we had a little cookout, and we had a couple of drinks, and we had. Oh my God, Danny is awesome. Just
Yeah.
like you, Gigi. Comiences.
Patoya. TDK says binge watching. I only binge watch Giras y Desveladas. Yay!
Yeah. Desveladas.
And
I had a bunch.
Giras y Desveladas. That's what my dad would talk about, his Giras y Desveladas. That's why when I thought I'm gonna do a podcast, what else can it be but that?
Right.
Giras y
Right.
Desveladas. And
Yeah.
those are trigger words for musicians, and everybody in the industry. They're trigger
Yeah.
words. It's like Gira y la Desvelada. And
Right.
they come one with the other.
Yes.
Any parting words, Miss Lady Janie Canales? I know you have some music coming up. You did mention,
Yes.
so we'll be looking out for that. The talent's in the blood; it's there. And what else can you do? You cannot deny it. You have to go with it.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we'll be
yeah.
looking out for that.
And you know what? I have all the free time. You know what? I mean, I retired from the postal service, but young because of injuries that, it wasn't like a regular post office. It was, I mean, like unloading 18 wheelers, loading. I mean, it was hard work. So I was all done mandada la máquina, right? So I got an early retirement, and but I got all the time in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm free to do anything or go anywhere or whatever, you know. And like I say, people out there that that's in the music, don't give up. And I don't care si alguien te dice, no, hombre, que te cállate, get out of my way. You know what I'm saying? Si no vas a ayudar, no estorbes.
Yeah, if you're not gonna help, get out of the way.
Yes.
TDK del Mero Monte says, "Can I get a shout out from Miss Janie, please?" TDK.
Oh, all right. TDK del mero monte. You
Woo!
got it.
Awesome. Oh, we did really quick. We mentioned that the you got it. It's he got it from a Toyota commercial,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I was looking for it. I did find it. It says you got it, but it says Toyota, and your brother would say you got it. Take it away. So yeah.
Okay. So,
He made it his own.
yeah, the last part is his, but the first part is Toyota. You know, but still, he made it a name, and people, they used to call him Mr. You Got It. Mr. You Got It.
Yes,
So.
that's Mr. You Got It. That's right. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your
anytime.
The words of wisdom for anybody that's trying to be trying it out there. Those words, don't give up, that's very important.
Yes, yeah, and it's gonna be hard. Don't think it's gonna be an easy road unless you have so much money that you buy your way up there. Okay, but Oscar Garcia también. Don't let nobody discourage you. And if you know you got it, pues you got it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let anybody make you feel like no, no. Because you know what? Esto me lo dijeron, I could say, me lo dijo un gabacho, fíjate. Dije, no, but there's a lot of haters out there. Dijo, you know what, Janie? You know why there's haters? Dijo, because you're doing something right. And really listen to it. Because you think the haters going to hate you because you're doing something wrong? No, because you're doing something right. That's why they hate on you.
Ya ves, George.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
I'm hated all the time, and I don't even know why. But that's okay.
That's what I'm
just
saying.
keep doing what I'm doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Just keep on going. Just keep on going.
Yes. Yeah, don't give up, guys and girls and everybody, and the young kids también that are coming up, and just keep on and on and on. And Daniel Garcia said, "Live your dream." That's right.
Yes.
Live your dream.
Actually, look, Nelinda went on there. Nelinda says, "Keep educating our young minds and inspire them. They are the future and keepers of the Tejano legacy, guys." Yes. Thank you, Miss Villarreal. That's exactly Mr. Roberto Pulido. A plug for Giras y Desveladas. If you go on YouTube or Facebook, he did a little special section where he wanted to talk to the youth and say, "Do the music, go for it. But get your education first. Get educated. Get your degree, and then make it a side gig. And then if it works for you, great. But have that foundation, have that education foundation there, so that you can fall back on that. And because music is as you will know, George, as you know, Janie, it's it's not 100% all the time.
No.
Yeah,
we spend more. Producing albums and videos and just getting studio time and paying all this stuff. You don't get nothing back.
Yeah.
It's just for the fun of it, the love of it. It's the people. It's the people that you're doing it for. It's not for yourself. For me, it's for the people, and it's for my grandkids and for my kids,
There you go. For posterity. Yes.
Yes.
So with that, we close. Thank you so much. Was there something else? TDK said, "I can't stress it enough. Teach your kids and grandkids how to dance Tejano. Once we're gone, they're the ones that will keep it alive." Well, actually, Miss Nelinda Villarreal, that's the plan for our Tejano pilot program students to play and their folklorico dancers to dance Tejano. Yep. So I will invite you guys when they make their performance, so everybody can come and cheer these guys on, because that's as far as I understand, it's the first. I don't think there is Tejano in the schools.
Now, and where are you located?
I'm in the RGV.
Yeah, where?
I'm in Alton right now. close to
That
Edinburgh.
close to Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Well, hey, TDK, why don't you open up a ballroom and have people teach the generations how to dance? You know, a lot of them they're shy or they say,
Yep.
no, I can't do it.
Yep.
I've seen dancers go, oh my God, they're awesome. You put a weight that you don't even have to drink because you'll get dizzy. And the weight.
TDK danced with my wife in Vegas one year. Oh my God, she was nervous. She was looking at me like, babe, oh. I'm like, just go and dance.
Right,
And
right.
TDK
Yeah.
and her dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
TDK says, Nelinda, add me on TikTok and use my videos to teach your kids. Interesting.
There
Is
you
that's what we've
go.
been talking about? We're talking about with how do we get these new kids to buy in? Well, we need to use their forum, which is TikTok, which
Yeah.
is see, TDK. By the way, Ms. Villarreal, TDK means what? The dance king, the dancing king.
Tejano
If I'm not
Dance
mistaken.
King. You know, when I met him 3 years ago in Vegas, he came up to me and I go, "Oh, he's a great guy. That guy right there, he's good. Very, very good. Very, very polite."
Right. Look at the jukebox. And-
Oh, okay. You want to read that, Janie?
Okay,
Tejano
Jukebox and more Oscar G promotions is always happy to help support artists play their music on my show on Wednesdays on Turn It Up Latino. Just get me your music.
Oscar
Wow,
G.
there it is. Plug. Thank you so much, Mr. Garcia. That's
Yes.
awesome. And that's what we need. We need to just spread it out there, and it's picking up. I mean, when we're there in Vegas, George, I mean, that was a great show up of people.
They had a different setup. They didn't have it broken down. You know, they had it all open this year. So the prior years they had it sealed off, and you had two different rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is my first time there. All right. With that, I feel like I always remember, like when I used to say goodbye to my tia, we'd say goodbye to my tia. We'd take an hour at the door, and then another hour at the car.
Oh yeah.
You know what they say? You know what they say?
Despidiéndonos. Huh?
El que mucho se despide, pocas ganas tiene de irse.
I see. That's
Yeah.
true.
They want to say, I gotta go. They really don't want to go, so they. I know what you're
That's
saying. And you
true.
walk them up to the car, and then ahí te paras. No, hombre, que fíjate. And then they get into the car, they roll down the window. De veras. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, really, we gotta go.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
El chisme está bueno. El chisme está bueno.
El chisme está bueno.
Dulce.
Thank you for much, both of you, for being here. Thank you for everybody that showed up to our show. If you did not catch it live, you can catch it on Facebook. You can catch it on TejanoTV.com or download TejanoTV.com or Tejano TV on your Android or your Apple device. Or you can go to our YouTube, Giras y Desveladas, and watch that. When Tejano TV, we're on like all week the same program, or depends. Sometimes they switch it up, but we're there. So watch us there later. That'll be great. Thank you so much for everybody. God bless you. Cuídense mucho, Miss Janie. I am so blessed to have done this with you. Thank you so much. Keep in touch. Don't be a stranger. If you start getting, some of the project, let us know.
I'm open for interviews. They want to know something, or just get in touch.
Great.
I'm gonna get them enchiladas.
George, cuida Norma, so she can co-host next time.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Mira, Norma is very shy. I say, no, que esto, que el otro, que y luego se hizo la enferma para no estar de. Oh my God, what happened here?
Oh, you should have seen me when she told me, "Hey, you're gonna have to co-host with Gigi." I says, "What?" And this was last Wednesday. I can't do it.
I'm gonna what?
I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. No, it's an honor.
And you know what? This I'm trying to prolong it. This young girl, I think her name is Heather, and she said, I'm afraid to have an interview. I said, look, just pretend that you're, among friends and you're just conversing. I said, nobody's going to do nothing to you. Like we've been doing, Yeah. I mean, you go to a restaurant, you go to a house. That's all you got to do. Wow, I hadn't thought about it that way. Yes, that's what you do. You must open up.
Yep. Yeah. I had a great time with you guys. Thank you, George. Thank you, Miss
Welcome.
Lady Janie Canales. It was an honor. We'll say goodbye to everybody. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time on Giras y Desveladas.
Bye.
Love you, girls.
Guys.
Look at that. That's so cute. I'm going to do an outro. If I have, let's see. I have one more comment. Let me just. Te digo, estoy en el carro diciéndole bye. Somebody said he's an awesome artist. I guess George. All right, George, you left with that. On that note, Janie Canales, you're an awesome. We heard that voice of yours, so
Love
we
it.
can't wait to hear that. We get that
Love it.
song of your dad's out.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
No, ¿por qué no? Right.
Right.
Just to, all
In
right.
honor of him, you know, in honor of him. And like I said, really nobody can really steal it because at the end dice, si quieren saber mi nombre, me llamo Esteban Canales. Now who's going to record that song and say that they're Esteban Canales? Give me a break. So it's up to me to do it.
Well, you're la hija de Esteban Canales.
Ay,
Yo soy la hija de Juan Guerrero, de los Chicanos. That's why I call myself la Chicana. That's right.
I know.
So
girl.
with that, we leave. Stay on a little bit. I'm going to do the outro and then stay on there just a little bit so we can say our goodbyes. Here we go.